I've just got back from a ride to Baffle House this morning. A place I keep saying to folk, if you haven't been there, and I don't care where you live in the country, it's worth a ride there. It's a great trip to get there through Wales. The food's exceptional, the coffee's fantastic, the value for money is next level, and it's a beautiful place inside. Really, really worth the trip. Anyway, I took the Ducati there because I keep riding a 1300 at the minute, and the Ducati's getting a bit neglected. And while I was there, and I was sort of falling back in love with the bike, really. Every time I hear that full turning race system sing, I'm really glad I spent the £2.5 on that exhaust system, and I'm really falling in love with the bike. I think I was unjustly critical of it previously. Anyway, so having these two bikes and falling back in love with this, I was thinking, if I had my dream 5-bike garage, I'm sure we've all thought this, what am I putting in my garage? Now, firstly, it's going to be the 1300. Now, I know all you 1250 lovers out there and our 1300 haters, having had two 1250 GSs, the 1300 is a better bike in every possible way. It just is, and eventually you're going to have to buy a 1300 because they're not making 1250s anymore. So that's a thing. So I'd have that. And actually I would take the Ducati, I'd put that in my dream garage because it's a great bike. And I think as I get more and more used to it, the love will grow. Let's say this. Now, that's two bikes. So what else am I putting in? I put the Buell S1 Lightning, particularly in this molten orange and purple. I remember seeing these in my early 20s and I couldn't afford one back then. And it's just a beautiful bike. But in the sun, it just absolutely pops. I love that bike. And on subject of Buells, I'd also put an XB12S. I've had one before, and I've had 3 of the 9s. Now, I don't know if this is rose tinted glasses on my memory, but it is a staggeringly good bike. It's a hooligan's bike in the way that all of the big naked bikes for me are trying to copy what Buell did 20 years ago. Gosh, 20 years ago, it's depressing. Anyway, so that's 4 bikes of my 5. Right, now I'm going to have to cheat a little bit. I'm going to have to put the BMW R1200S, particularly in this red and silver. I took one of these out when it first came out. I didn't buy one then. I'm hoping to sneak one into this garage, hopefully next year if my wife doesn't notice, because it's a really good bike. The first time I ever rode a bike that I felt was such a solid platform, really like it was on rails, a really cracking bike. And a tribute to Randy here, I'm going to have a Boxer Cup. If I've got one, I've got to have the other, so that's in. So that's 6 bikes out of my 5. Well, as we're cheating, so what else am I going to put in? The Paul Smart Ducati. I remember when these came out as well, and they didn't sell very well. I think if Ducati were to make them now, they would fly off the shelves, and they couldn't make them quick enough. But a beautiful bike. And if we're going to have that one, I'm going to have the MH900E. Not a bike I've ever seen in the flesh, but I think if it's half as beautiful in the flesh as it is in the photograph, that's coming in here, even if I just hang it on the wall. That's another bike, so we're up to 6. Is that 6? 2, 4, 6, 8. 8. Eek. Right, one more bike. Storch did a replica kit for the Harley Davidson XR flat tracker. That's coming in. I love that bike. If I have the time and money one day, I'd like to build one. I've always said that to myself, that I would like to make one of those bikes. Never got round to it. Perhaps that's a thing for my retirement, maybe. So 9 bikes. Okay, that's 9 bikes in my 5-bike garage. Imagine we had a shed nearby. I'd also put the original MV Augusta F4. I went to the bike show when that first came out, and that was like nothing anybody had ever seen. It's a truly beautiful bike. Along with the KTM RC8 when that first came out. Again, beautiful, beautiful bikes. I wouldn't ride them because I don't like sports bikes particularly, but I'd have to own them so I could at least look at them. That's 11. So, that's my 5-bike garage with 11 bikes in it. Put in the comments what's yours. Cheers.